Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your boy, Joe B Styles. Happy 4th of July! Woo! Oh my gosh, so we're back again, and today we're gonna just do a quick contour video. I've gotten a lot of requests for this, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get into it real quick. But before we do that, please subscribe, please like my channel and my page and all that other good stuff, so you get to know when I'm having more pop up on you. Alright, so without further ado, let's just get into it. Alright, so for highlighting and contouring, there's a lot of different things that you can use. Honestly, I usually like to use liquids. These are my highlighters or concealers, and then I usually like to use a liquid for a contour as well. There's lots of different things you can do. You can use creams as well. I have a stick that I'm actually going to be using in this video because it's actually really easy to use, and I want to show you how to do it because it does look intimidating, but it's quite simple once you get the hang of it. And then you also have your powders as well, which I feel like are the easiest. A lot of powders come in like contour kits, or you can get single shadows by themselves. I use this color to contour, so definitely with your products, usually when you contour, you want it to be more so on the cooler tone. If it's warmer, then it's going to more so look like a bronzer rather than creating that shape that you want to really chisel that cheekbone or really chisel down that nose. So what I'm using today is the Sephora Collection contour stick. It's actually a foundation stick. It is on the cooler side, which I do like because it's able to really create that shape that I like. And then for concealer, I'm going to use my Sephora Collection concealer as well. The reason why I want to use Sephora Collection items today is because they're super duper affordable and everyone can get them. Just about everyone can get them. If you can buy makeup, you can get these, plain and simple. So first, what I usually start to do is highlight. I'll go ahead and use my highlighting concealer everywhere where I want to glow in the areas that I want to bring forward. So I'm going to do under my eyes. A lot of people do like the little triangle of lights. You don't necessarily have to do it. I don't like to use a lot of products so it can blend better. I'm going to go ahead and put a little down my nose, on the forehead, and then I kind of do under the brow bone as well, just to bring a little light, the chin, and the sides of the nose. That's basically all you really need to highlight. It depends on your face shape now. If you have like a rounder head here, you might want to contour a little bit more there, maybe a little less light. I just do it the way my face works for me. Play around, you'll find what works for you best. So now I'm going to go ahead and blend this out. You've seen me do this a few times. If you haven't, please watch my last video because it's in detail. Alright, so I know a lot of people like to kind of leave their highlight on and then put their contour on and blend everything out together. Honestly, I think it's a mess and I'd rather not do that. I'd rather do one step at a time. That way I can make sure it's perfected and it's done correctly. There's always time for a quick read. Alright, so now that I have my highlight blended out all nicely, you get my cheekbones are already starting to stand out a little bit more just from the highlight alone. So now we're going to go ahead with the contour stick. So this is a foundation stick. Highlighting, contour, creams, and things are usually foundations, and they just put the word contour on it to sell it for you to contour with. Usually it's in the tones that you would want to use. So food for thought. So with this, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of place it wherever I want to kind of make recede, take in. So like around my forehead, under my jaw, or actually, yeah, under my jaw, actually under my cheekbone as well, to kind of push these things up. And this is the number 16 in the Sephora Collection Make No Mistake foundation. It's the stick foundations, okay? So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of do really light. You want to go very lightly. The less the better, because then you can blend it out. So I'm going to kind of go around my forehead because I have a bigger forehead. Now we're going to go right through the cheekbone. You really want to find your cheekbone like that, and you want to do a tiny bit of product, especially over here, because if you do too much, it's going to look super dramatic. That's about as much as I'm going to do, and the only reason why I'm doing this much is so you can really see what I'm doing. And you do want it to kind of come from your ear. Yep, that's all I'm really going to put on. Yep. Right under here. And under here. And then I also do the nose, but to do the nose, I like to kind of go with a brush, just so I can make it a little bit more precise. Go right down the side of that nose. You don't want a ton of product. That's why I use the brush instead of the actual stick. And just on the outsides of it, then the under. I also like to come in here a little bit too, so you can actually get that full shape. And it looks more natural. Rather than, well, yeah, I just contour my nose, boo, you like? No, I don't, because it looks like you did it, rather than that's the way your nose looks. So you see how I have the markings here, I brought it up through there, around the forehead, under the jaw, and the cheekbone. I don't know why I keep calling my cheekbone my jaw today. I don't know what's going on. I haven't even started drinking yet, y'all, so no excuses. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and blend that out. I actually like to use a brush to blend mine out. Alright, so I actually like a brush to blend mine out. I'm going to be using this one from e.l.f. And then this one is a Crown Beauty blush just to really give a nice buff, but this is really going to push it to where I need it. Now when you're blending out your cheekbone, you really want to make sure you're kind of blending in the direction you want it, but then pushing that product up as well. Because when you push it down, you're dragging that product down and you're dragging your face down, which is what you don't want. So you kind of want to push this up, and you don't want to go further than where the color is in your eye, because then it just brings it down too far and it looks dramatic and it just looks like a mess and like you don't really know what you're doing. Even though you may not yet, by watching my video and practicing, you'll get it. Believe me, you will, because it's not hard and I'm showing you the easiest ways to do it. And this brush is very dense, so it can push the product really nicely. And so you see how it's creating that shape already? Yes, honey. And then I'm going to go ahead and switch brushes to this one just to kind of softly blend it out a little bit more when it gets close to my highlight area. Because I just want it to all blend together evenly and nicely. See that compared to this? Okay. Okay. We're going to do the same thing up here. I just want to get a good blend, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And then go on with my other brush and just really blend her. And honestly, my forehead is sweating a little bit, so I feel like a little bit of my foundation is coming up. But you get the point. It's hot, it's the summer. You try shooting a video in the middle of the summer. Literally on the 4th of July. Alright, so remember, you want to blend it going upwards. You don't want to take it past where the color starts in your eye. See that? And I'm just going to blend it out a little bit more, where it kind of crosses with my highlight with a fluffier brush, just to make it look more gradual and more natural. Same thing with the nose and with the jawline. Well, with the jawline, you can kind of bring it down, because that's going to bring the jawline down a little bit. Well, actually, it's going to push your jawline up a little bit. Now, I do have a beard technically, so this isn't something that I normally do because I don't like to add more darkness to that area. But for all my ladies out there who don't have that problem, go for it, you know, especially if you feel like you got that extra, you know, extra space around your neck, let's just say that. Contour, honey. Good to go. And I'm literally kind of just going down my nose with the product. And then here. And then right through here. And I really like this brush because it really just does what I want, and it's a great shape for the contour. Alright, so you see where I'm contoured. I'm just going to take that brush, blend it out just a little bit more, because I don't like it to look super dramatic. I want to have the effect, but I still want it to look more natural. You see that? You see that? I know you see it. I know you see it. I'm talking any, many, mighty, mo. How many y'all in the club won't go? I know you see it. No, you see. Alright, I'm already sweating. I need to stop it. So now that you got your contour and highlight on, now what you want to do, you want to set. You want to set where the highlight is before it dissipates into your skin. I don't know if that's a real word, but I think it is. I'm using the Fit Me powder. This is their loose finishing powder in the color number 30. I'm going to go ahead and use my Real Techniques sponge. Go right in there. And I'm going to carve out my contour first under my cheekbone. So, I have the powder on my sponge like that. I am going to take it literally right along here. Swoom. Swoom, honey. And pat her in. And that is how you chisel that cheekbone, honey. Because once I sweep that away, cheekbones for days. That's the secret, y'all. That is the secret. If y'all ain't know it then, you know it now. Chisel her. I usually like to start kind of like where my sideburn is. And just bring her for the gods. Like, you want to meet with the gods. You want your cheekbones to be all of the way up there with them so they can notice it and be like, oh, hello. How'd you do that? I want it. And I bring the setting powder up on my nose just a little bit. And it makes the contour a little less noticeable, but it's still there and it still cinches the nose. I feel like it's uneven. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, so to apply my bronzer, I use two brushes actually. I use my Mikasa F111 and I use my Mikasa F100. I use this for my whole face to kind of really diffuse the product. And then I use this in like the contoured, like the cheekbone area to really blend it out and bronze it. So we're going to use the big brush first and we're going to get a good amount of product. And this is the Sephora Collection Micro Smooth, the number 60. I use this as my bronzer, as you should know already. And we're gonna start on the forehead, and we're gonna buff, 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 and blend, 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 and buff, 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 and blend, blend, blend. Yep. So we're just gonna, you see how that did that already? We're just gonna buff and blend all over the face, starting on the forehead. Bring it down right to about where the cheek is. And I'm also going to do this on the neck as well, because I use the setting powder there and it is light, so you want to bring back your color, as well as over here you want to blend out that contour and where you put that setting powder. Alright, so now we're going to move on to that smaller brush, and I'm going to get a little bit of product on there, and I'm going to go over where I contour. But Brian, won't that make it look darker? No, this is a little bit lighter than the contour, so it's going to soften it out and diffuse the color a little bit. Good question though, good question. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and use that smaller brush in that area to really smooth that out and make the contour not as dramatic, but still present. And I'm using this right on the cheekbone. Kind of like where you would put your blush for the most part. And I'm not being as careful, so it can blur that line and it's not as dramatic. And it's the same powder I used down here anyway, so it will all blend it beautifully. Look at that. And your line won't be as dramatic there the shorter time you leave the lighter powder on. I left it on there to bake a little bit, so it stayed in place. But if you don't want that, then don't use as much to bake. Or just don't leave it on as long. Alright, so now that I use the little brush, I'm going to switch back to the bigger brush. Now, you don't have to do this. You can use the same brush throughout the whole time. But this is what I like to get that flawless, clean finish. And I'm just going to lightly dip into that powder. I'm going to go back through here. In my neck. And then now that a lot of it's off, I'm going to go ahead through this area and get all the excess powder off that was on. And this is just with like excess powder that's left on the brush. I didn't really go in and actually apply it here. This is just to blend everything and take off the excess powder. So now what you really want to do to make all the powder settle and it look like your skin again, you just want to use a great setting spray. today, since I'm going to be out and about watching fireworks and moving around and everything, I'm going to be using the High Performance Setting Spray from Cover FX because it's going to lock in my makeup and it's going to make sure that it stays throughout the festivities of the night. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and put on a lip and some mascara and call it a day. And honestly, I'm just going to do a little bit of balm, maybe a little bit of gloss or something. I don't want to do nothing crazy since the complexion is the star of the show. Alright guys, so that concludes the video. I hope you really enjoyed it. To finish the look off, I used the Jackie Aina Artist Couture collaboration highlighter in the color LeBronze. I also used the Milk Kush mascara, which y'all know I love. But one of my new, ding ding ding, new, well this isn't new, sorry. But new favorite for me is the Laura Geller lip glosses. I think it's called the Nude Kisses collection. And it's in the color Island Hopper. These are not new. They are at Ulta at the Laura Geller section. These are so good. It has a bomb tip on there that actually like kind of cups your lip and gets you a good amount of product. The color lasts and it feels so good on your lips. So if you haven't tried it, please go out and try them. No, they're not paying me to say it. I wish they were. But this is a bomb lip gloss that I just got put onto. So I would try it out. It's pretty nice. I think it was like 18 bucks, maybe 18 to 21. I don't know, but it was worth every penny of it because it will last you because it stays on for so long. You don't have to reapply it like most glosses. But anyways, let's stop talking about the glosses. I hope you enjoyed this nice little contour video. Got that highlight and contour going. Hope you're gonna go out there nice and stitched and, you know, go out, have fun with your happy 4th of July party today. Ew, you might catch me out there with this face like. Thank you for watching, and as always, please subscribe, tell your brother, your sister, your cousin, your auntie, your uncle, your nephew, your whoever. Joby Styles is where it's at.